Good morning, all of you. Today, we are going to learn a little further about pronouns. Yesterday, we learned about personal pronouns. Today, we are going to learn about possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns are those which show us possession or ownership. So, if we are going to show, if a pronoun that shows that something belongs to us, something belongs to a noun, or the ownership of something belongs to a certain person, then that pronoun is called possessive pronoun. Example: the books lying on the table are mine. So here the word mine suggests that the ownership of the books lie with me. Okay, possessive pronouns are really mine, ours, yours, his, hers, and theirs. These are the examples of possessive pronouns. They have various forms depending upon the persons and numbers. First person pronoun in singular number is mine, in plural it's ours. Second person is yours, in plural number is also yours. Third person in singular number is his for male and hers for female, and in plural number is theirs. Moving on to demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are the words. So demonstrative pronoun, the clue is hidden itself in the word itself. Demonstrate. So the word demonstrate means to show, to point out. So this kind of pronouns are used to point out a certain thing, a certain noun. Okay, point out a noun in this in a sentence. For example, this is the pen I was looking for. So this it is talking about one particular pen which the person was looking for. The four pronouns of demonstrative, the four demonstrative pronoun are this, that, those, and these. So one of the prime means mistake means concern of the students is how to use these pronouns. See, the difference between this and that and these and those depends on distance. For example, something near. For example, this book is mine. So there is the distance between the speaker and the object is less. That book is mine. Again, so we can guess that the distance between the speaker and the object is a little more than the previous example. These kids, these pencils are mine. So the objects are quite near to the speaker. Those pencils are mine. So there is a sense of distance being increased. What are the uses of demonstrative pronouns? To point out people or things. So they point out people of thing or things. To separate a category. For example, those pencils are not mine, so they have separated a category. When a statement or solution is referred to, this is what I was talking about. So we are referring to a statement or solution that we have talked about. Moving on to interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns are those which ask questions. Who is at the door? Whom are you writing to? So these are used to ask questions. The following are the examples of interrogative pronouns: who, whom, what, whose, and which. These pronouns have different uses. Who is used as a subject and the object of a verb and preposition. For example, who are you talking to? So this is here the who is used as a subject. But when who is used as the object of preposition, if you see, it is used after to. To whom are you talking? So its form has changed to whom. Whose is used to indicate possession and used for person and things alike. So it indicates it tries to show possession, ownership. Okay, whose car is this? So it is asking whether the whom does the car belong to. Okay, which is used for both person or things. We read about it in the interrogative adjectives as well, that which is separates one thing from a group of things. Okay, so it has one has to make a choice among different possibilities. Which is your bottle? Now there is a difference between adjectives, interrogative adjectives, and interrogative pronouns. You have to remember that. If we had been using which as an interrogative adjective, we would say which bottle is yours. So the distance between the word and the noun that which is qualifying is very less. Whereas they are placed quite near. Whereas if you see in this sentence, which is your bottle, so the bottle, the noun becomes the object of the sentence. So you have to keep these things in mind. Okay, what is used with things? What is used in case of things? What is in your hand? It refers to objects. Reflexive pronouns. These are one of the most important pronouns that you have to remember. Reflexive pronouns are used for actions which reflect back upon the subject. For example, he hurt himself. So the action which he was performing, the result of that action has been reflected back on him, it है ना. So the action came back round on the same person who was doing the work. The different forms of reflective pronouns depending upon the number and person. First person myself, first person singular number myself and plural number ourselves. Second person singular number yourself, plural number yourselves. Third person singular number himself, herself, or itself depending upon gender, and plural number themselves for all. So how do we use reflexive pronouns? When the subject or object of the verb is the same person or thing. As I said before, when the receiver and doer of the action are the one and the same person. I hurt myself, so nobody else hurt me. I got hurt because of my own actions. Okay, that's an example of reflexive pronoun. Okay, for emphasis, we all can also use reflexive pronoun for emphasis, means to give importance. I made the cake myself. For example, you cook some boys or you kids. Someday you make a tea, so you give the tea to your father, and you will say, "So this is the tea I made myself. I made this tea myself." So you are laying emphasis on the fact that the tea was made by you, and you did not take anybody's help in making that tea. So therefore, this myself, the word myself suggests emphasis. That lays emphasis, gives importance to the fact that the cake was made by the one single person. Okay. Used with prepositions to clarify which person or thing they are talking about. So it is used for clarification which person or thing we are talking about. For example, she is happy with herself. So whom is she happy with? Herself. One thing you need to remember about reflexive pronoun is that they are not used with the actions which are the part of a normal routine. So the things that you do in normal routine cannot be addressed as reflexive pronouns. Rather, it is used when someone does something he or she is not expected to do. Means when we don't believe that someone can do something, or someone is not expected to behave in a certain kind of way, and that person actually does behave in that kind of way, then we actually then we can use reflexive pronoun. For example, although she is blind, she cooks for herself. So we don't expect her to cook for herself because she is blind. Okay, even then she cooks for herself. So that's therefore here herself becomes a reflexive pronoun. Emphatic pronoun you can say is another category of reflexive pronouns. In emphatic pronouns we use the reflexive forms for use emphasis, just as I said in the previous example, that I cooked this meal myself. I myself cooked this meal. The emphasis on this is in the fact that myself, मैंने खुद नहीं किया ये. Rest the forms of the emphatic pronouns are same as the reflexive pronouns. So the forms, as we have read in the singular number and plural number, are similar to the reflexive pronouns. That's all for today. If you have any doubt, you can definitely ask.